Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Creating in the Waiting. Hopping on to do a flip through of the travel size journal that I just completed. I made her with tea stain paper, Stamperia, some vintage music sheets, and vintage ledger. She's fully loaded. Got lovely little charm dangles. Just did a little collaging on the cover with this beautiful flower and altered safety pin. I'm having an issue with my flash. I'm so sorry that the lighting is bad. Little mint green beads on those. Did beading down at the bottom of the signature. Lace wrapped around the spine in a pretty lace closure. This is my favorite pin so far. So I love the beads and then two little charms. Of course, you know, the pen works. She'll come with refill inks. Did ruffles on some of her pages. Did a little tuck here and a little cluster with some vintage doilies. I make everything. So I altered the flashcards with some vellum that I printed this image out onto, backed everything with tea stain paper, and then I put that image onto the guest check, and of course everything has sewing around the edges, as well as the majority of her pages with the exception of the vellum. Here I just did a little cluster with my scrap papers, a little heart die cut, and word sentiment, just a little collaging. Left plenty of writing space. This is a little sack pocket that I made, and it just has little scrap pieces of paper. I just sewed them together. Here's a ruffle and a little applique. Some lace paper, did some stenciling on the back, and then I just put that image onto some tulle stationery paper, did some stenciling, and then I printed that image onto one side of the vintage vocabulary card. Did a little well tell with a charm. Here I just turned this paint sample into a belly band, and we have some vintage ephemera. So 1945, and this is just a prescription, and then here's just obviously like a little, you know, note card. I haven't read it. Anyway, just some little vintage pieces. It's an envelope that I bound into the journal, so this is the other side, and then this is just some scrap pieces of paper. Again, another one of those little vintage vocabulary cards that I printed the image onto. Little altered hairpin. Did some stenciling on the vintage music sheet. Lace paper stenciling. Little charm on the well tell. Made that stationary. Little pull waterfall that I did the tutorial going over. This is the one that we made. Ruffle. Vintage ledger here, and I like this butterfly, so I stuck it up there. And then I did a live this morning in my group, and we just made these embossed tags. So it's an embossed cardstock back with tea stain paper, and I just did a little cluster here, well tell, and then the ribbon at the top. Cluster. I did that on a live in Mindful Images group. I will link both of the groups in the description box below, my group and the lovely Katherine's. She's admin in my group. I'm admin in her group, she's admin in my group. We just all one big happy family. So I'm going to go ahead and link both of those in the description box below. Do a majority of my work and my lives going over everything in my Facebook group, Savage Art. This journal is actually going to go up for raffle. Do lots of little contests and games. Do most of my lives over there, doing most of my work. Little altered tiny paper clip. I like those. I make all of those, so I'm not gonna, just know I made that. I didn't make it, like paint on it. I just, you know, put the image onto the stationery paper. Little cluster up there. Tag. Just did some embossed paper and then the little Tim Holtz flower. just a little cluster of lace cheesecloth and vintage doilies with a little rose in the middle. And this is vintage ephemera, a vintage letter from 1841. And this is from, I don't know, that says 03, but I really don't think that's from, well, I mean, it could be. I don't know. It's a vintage piece of ephemera. That says 06 down there. Yeah, that's just a little belly band. I love, love, love Stamperia paper, and, you know, making my own little things and using the lace paper just creates a lot of just different interest with the different things going on. Another one of the little altered playing cards, back with tea stain paper, sewed around the edges. Those are just simple and beautiful. This is actually done with vellum and not the transparent label that I usually do, and that worked out perfect. It's just adhered with Scotch Permanent. Did a little strip there with a bow. I've been like hoarding that bow, trying to stick it in every journal. And then here we just did, that came out so pretty, a little secret fold out writing spot. I did a live in my group yesterday doing that. And then I made that library card and then altered another playing card and did that lovely little cluster there. But she's super beautiful. This journal, I love the colors. It's extremely calming. She does need a name, so I'll be thinking about that. But anyways, I hope that you guys were inspired and found some ideas that maybe you can use. I hope that you are creating what brings your heart joy, and please find us on Facebook. Bye.